Good morning, Southwest kids. I am so glad we're together this morning. I hope you've had a great week, and this will be a great start to a new week. We're still talking about Jacob and Esau, and Jacob getting Isaac's blessing, and Rebecca and Rachel and all of the whole family. So we know how important family is, and so we're still talking about family, okay? But in Genesis 27, it talks about how Jacob gets Isaac's blessing, and we've kind of talked about it already. But what had happened was that, and this is Genesis 27, I don't know if I said that or not, but what had happened was that Jacob tricked Isaac. Isaac was out hunting, getting food for his father, and Jacob tricked him, and when Isaac came in, and he was starving clear to death, and he was like, please give me some of that stew that you're fixing. And Jacob said, well, trade me this cup of soup for your birthright. And he did it. And then Jacob tricked Isaac into, he dressed up like Isaac. He put hair on his neck and on his arms, and he wore Isaac's clothes. And he went into their father Esau and said, you know, I am Esau, I am Isaac, and I want you to give, you know, I need your blessing. And so he gave it to him, but it was really Jacob. And so anyway, they were both a little bit deceitful and had trickery and weren't very honest. And so anyway, and then if you keep reading all through that whole chapter of 27, you can see where he got the blessing. And then you keep reading over to chapter 28. And Jacob had to leave. He had to go to Haran because Esau was going to kill him. And so clear over in chapter 28 in verse 10, it talks about Jacob's dream that he had in Bethel. And it says in verse 12, he had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth with its top reaching to the heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending onto it. Okay, and then, and it tells how then Jacob made a vow, and this is in verse 20 of chapter 28. It says, then Jacob made a vow, saying, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's house, then the Lord will be my God. And this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house, and all that you give me, I will give you a tenth. And so he kind of was wanting forgiveness and wanting to kind of start over and, you know, be a better person at that point. So, okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I want you to go get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen or a marker or something that you can write down this, okay? So 30 seconds. Are you on your mark? A pencil, a piece of paper, and or something to write on, anything like that. Ready, go. Do, 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 do. Are you getting it? Are you getting your piece of paper and your pen or a pencil? Okay, I've got a game for y'all to play. Okay. All right, you got your piece of paper? You got a pencil or a pen or a marker or something to write with? Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to give you two choices, okay? And the first choice, if you think the answer is the first choice, I'll tell you which number to write down. So what I want you to do is make a list starting with number 1, and I want it to go through number 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down your piece of paper until you get to 18. Okay, go ahead and write that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so you've got 1 through 18 on your piece of paper, okay? So I'm going to ask you a question, and if you think, I'm going to give you 2 choices of the answer, or if you think whenever I give you that answer, I will tell you to write down a number 1 or a number 2, okay? And that'll be your 2 choices. And so by number 1, all right, the first question, number 1, why did Jacob trick his father? Okay, so to get his brother's birthright, or they were playing Would You Rather. So why did Jacob trick his father? To get his brother's birthright, or they were just playing a game, Would You Rather. So if you think it's to get his brother's birthright, write down number 2 on number 1. Okay, if you think they were playing a game of Would You Rather, put number 1 by number 1. Okay, number 2 question. Why did Jacob leave in such a hurry? Okay, these are your questions. This is the answers. His brother wanted to kill him, or he needed to go to school. Okay, so why did Jacob leave in such a hurry? If you think that he needed to go to school, put number 1 beside number 2, okay? If you think the answer is his brother wanted to kill him, put number 2 by number 2, okay? Number 3, who was Jacob's father? Was it Moses or was it Isaac? Okay, if you think it's Moses, put number 1 by number 3, or if you think it's Isaac, put number 2 by number 3. All right, question number 4. Who was Jacob's brother? Was it Esau or was it John? If you think it was Esau, put number 2 by number 4. Or if you think it was John, put number 1 by number 4. Okay, 5. Where was Jacob going after he left home? Was it heaven or was it Haran? Okay, if you think it was heaven, put number 1 by number 5. Or if you think it was Haran, put number 2 by number 5. Okay, question 6. Where was Jacob's home? Was it Beersheba or was it Egypt? If you think it was Beersheba, put number 2 at number 6. And if you think it was Egypt, put number 1. All right, number 7 question. What did Jacob name the place where he had a dream? Was it Bethel or was it the baseball field? If you think it was Bethel, put number 2 at number 7, or if you think it was the baseball field, put number 1 by number 7. Okay, this is number 8 question. What does Bethel mean? Does it mean name of the Blue Devils, or does it mean Bethel mean house of God? If you think it's the home of the Blue Devils, put number 1 at number 8, or if you think it's the house of God, put number 2 at number 8. All right, number 9 question. What did Jacob use as a pillow? Was it a rock or was it feathers? If you think it was a rock, then put number 2 by number 9. Or if you think it was feathers, put number 1 by number 9. Who talked to Jacob in his dream? Number 1, this is number 10 question. If you think it was Moses, put a 1. If you think it was God, put a 2. All right, this is number 11. What did Jacob dream about? Number 1 answer will be playing baseball. Number 2 will be angels climbing up and down a ladder. That was number 11 question. So if you think it was baseball, it was number 1. If you think it was angels climbing up and down a ladder, that's number 2. Number 12 question. Where did the ladder in Jacob's dream lead? Was it to heaven or was it to the first floor? If you think it was heaven, put number 2 at number 12. If you think it was the first floor, put number 1. Who was standing at the top of the ladder? Was it God or was it Abraham? If you think it was God, put number 2 at number 13. And if you think it was Abraham, put number 1 at 13. All right, number 14. What did God say he would give Jacob? Your 2 answers will be all of the gold, or what did God say he would give Jacob? The land on which he was lying. And if you think it was all the gold, put number 1 at 14. And if you think it was the land which he was lying, put number 2 at 14. All right, number 15, we're almost done. How many descendants would Jacob eventually have? 100 or as many as the dust of the earth? Or basically a lot. So if you think it was 100, put number 1 at 15. If you think it was as many as the dust of the earth, which is a whole bunch, put number 2. 16, 2 more to go. Who would be blessed through Jacob? Everyone or just a chosen few? If you think it's everyone, put number 2 by 16 and put number 1 if you think it's just a chosen few. 17, when Jacob awoke, what 2 things did he do with the stone he had been sleeping on? If you think he stacked them and danced around them, put number 1 at 17. Or if you think he set it up as a pillar and poured oil on it to God, put number 2 at number 17. Last one, 18. What did Jacob think when he awoke from his dream? This place is wonderful. This is God's house, and this is heaven's door. Or it was just something I ate. All right, if you think it was just something he ate, put number 1 by 18. Or if you think it was a wonderful place that God, and this is God's house, and this is heaven's door, put number 2. Okay, so I want you to add those all up real quick, okay? If you have 2 on most of them, you'll just double it. Like if you can count how many 2s you have going down your list. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 2s, then that's 24 points, okay? Or if you've got all 18 of them with number 2s, then that's going to be 36, okay? So after you get those all added up, if you had 30 to 36 number of points added up, you get a gold star, okay? If you had 25 to 29, you have a silver star. In 20 to 24, you get a bronze star. And if you did 0 to 19, you get a good try button, okay? So I'm sure most of you probably had 2s on all of those questions. And so great job knowing all the answers to those questions about Jacob and his ladder. All right, the next game, it won't take quite so long, okay? But the answer to all the next questions that I'm going to ask is because it's through one person that we get to climb the ladder to heaven someday. And this is us, okay? This is you and this is me, okay? And it's all because of one person that came to earth, okay? And that gives us the ability to be able to get to heaven, okay? So I'm going to see if you know who this one person is when I ask you these questions. Who is the Son of God? Who? Yep, Jesus. God's plan was to send someone to earth one day through the family of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who did God send to earth? Yep, Jesus. Who is the truth in John 14:6? Yep, Jesus. Other than God the Father, the Holy Spirit, and the angel who lives in heaven? Jesus. Who has gone to prepare a place for us in his Father's house? Jesus. Who said he will always be with us? Matthew 28:20. Jesus. Who is the light of the world? In John 8:12. Yep, Jesus. Who is the good shepherd? In John 10:11. Who? Jesus. And although he is the king of the entire universe, who came to earth to serve us? Jesus. And who is called the Christ? Jesus. Great job. You did it. You got 100%. You knew who it was. It was Jesus. And so that gives us hope, and that is exciting that we know we're going to get to go to heaven someday because of Jesus. And all we have to do is just follow the Bible and be our best and treat others like better than we want to be treated, and to love all of God's creation. All right? Okay, you guys have a great week, and be thankful and grateful for Jesus this week, okay? All right, bye.